All right, let's talk. You've seen all the AI hype. You've heard the buzz. But the real question is, how do you actually make it work for you? How do you use it to save real time and grow your business? Well, today, we're cutting through the noise. I'm going to give you the exact 90-day blueprint to build your own AI-powered productivity system, step by step.
Look, let's be real for a second. That endless stream of new AI tools, it's completely overwhelming. And chasing after every new shiny object, that just leads to chaos, not results. What you really need isn't another tool. It's a system, a repeatable plan that actually gets the job done.
And that's exactly what this is all about. We're going to forget the random tools for a minute. We are building a strategic system. And this 90-day blueprint, this is your roadmap.
So here's the whole journey, laid out. It's broken down into 3 super simple phases. First, we lay the foundation. Then, we build and automate. And finally, we measure and improve. You just follow this path, and I promise you'll get real results without all the overwhelm. Let's dive into phase 1. Okay, first up, phase 1, your foundation. This is all about weeks 1 through 3. Now, I know you're probably eager to jump right into the cool automations, but trust me, skipping this step is like building a house on sand. You get this part right, and everything else we build on top of it will actually stick. So what do you actually do here? It's 3 clear steps. First, you're going to audit your current tasks. Really figure out where your time is going. Second, you map out all those repetitive workflows. The stuff you do over and over again. And only then, as the very last step, do choose your AI tools. See, we pick tools to solve specific problems we've identified, not the other way around. That right there is the core of systems thinking.
Okay, once our foundation is solid, we get to move into the fun part, phase 2, build and automate. This is for weeks 4 through 8, and it's where the magic really starts to happen. We stop just planning, and we actually start building your AI-powered productivity engine. The steps here are honestly game changers. You'll build out your very first automated workflows based on that audit you did in phase 1. You'll automate key client follow-ups, which is a massive time saver. And you'll standardize your content engine. Just think about that for a second. That means creating a whole week's worth of social media posts from just one blog article, practically on autopilot. That's what we call leverage. But let's bring this back down to earth. When I say something like automate follow-ups, what does that actually look like when you're a founder juggling a million different things?
It's really this simple. It means there's a system running in the background for you, sending those polite check-in emails automatically. It means you never, ever drop the ball on a potential lead or forget to follow up with a client again. That isn't just a cool theory. That is a tangible, real-world business result.
And that brings us to our final phase, happening from weeks 9 to 12, measure and improve. You see, an automated system isn't something you just build once and then forget about. The best founders, the ones who really scale, know that continuous optimization is where you find the real hidden leverage. So in this phase, we focus on a simple loop. First, you track your time saved. This is your proof, your data, that the system is working. Second, you adjust any workflows that are kind of clunky or aren't quite hitting the mark. And third, you find your winning automations and you scale them. You double down on what works. This is how a good system becomes a great system. So what's the real prize at the end of all this? It's this number, 10 plus. We're not talking about saving a few minutes here and there. A well-built system can realistically save you 10 or even more hours every single week. I'm serious. What would you do with an extra 10 hours a week? That's time you can put back into growing the business, not just being stuck running it. But this whole blueprint is more than just a list of steps. It's really about adopting a different way of thinking, what I call the systemized founder mindset. And this, right here, this is the real secret to sustainable growth. And this is the absolute crucial shift you need to make. The founders who win aren't the ones who just work more hours. They're the ones who build better systems. Remember this, growth doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing smarter. It comes from building automated workflows that do the work for you.
This 90-day blueprint is the perfect place to start making this happen. And hey, if you really want to get the big picture strategy behind all of this, make sure you've watched our previous explainer on the AI productivity engine. It shows you the entire system that this blueprint helps you build, piece by piece.
And finally, if you want to really hit the ground running with this, I've put a link to the exact workflow templates and system documents that I use right in the description below. It's got everything you need to start fast. So I'm genuinely curious. Drop a comment and let me know. What's the very first repetitive task you're thinking about automating?